those send out those last minute texts. Once again, this is Gerald Parker, reaching you this morning from North Carolina. And guys, we got something for you. This Saturday morning read has been powerful. We see new faces on the platform this morning. It is growing, but think it not strange that it is when you think about who presents this for us every Saturday morning. A true mindset professional, skilled in her area. She is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. She has a way of kind of pulling this all back and letting us peeling the onion back and helping us understand who we are and what our potential is. This book just helps us turn the corner. Miss Connie Rose is with us again this morning. Great morning, Connie. Good to see you.
You know, it's a great day to have a great day, Dr. Parker.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All the way from St. Louis, Missouri, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Connie Rose is with us. Thank you so much for being here. We're almost there. Let's give it another minute. We're going to get some other people on the platform. Connie, I'm just believing that this particular platform, because of the impact that it's having in my own life, and I know what it's doing in other people's lives, it should be packed out every single Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, and I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm continually learning, and I learned some new things this week that I'm going to share. I mean, I just love it. I get so excited about this, and it really is. Our mindset is the foundation of creating anything we want, including wealth. So
I think it was maybe Napoleon Hill who said, there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are an offspring of thought. So I think that's the toughest part for us, maybe to wrap our heads around the fact that it all starts here and it all ends here. But whatever it is that you want to be, desire to be, have, do, it all starts here. And I think about a guy told me a story once about, a chair at one point was just a piece of wood. But the idea came from someone's mind to create that. And I imagine that person maybe sitting on the floor and wanting a better level of comfort, right? So they created it, and that's the gift that God has given us. And as a result of that thought, a chair was created. So then I said, man, maybe the guy went a little further and said, okay, now I'm eating, sitting on this chair, eating from a plate on my lap. I want more comfort. So the idea of a table came, right? So, but even God's creation itself, it was all in his mind, right? When he created the heavens and earth. It is amazing what we have the capability of doing. And the key for me, and what I get out of these readings, I'm able now to kind of tap in, to draw myself a little closer to this understanding, to really understand who I am, whose I am, and what I'm capable of through him. And that's the beauty of what we do here on Saturday mornings.
Well, and you said something really important, like, we are made in his image, and God is the ultimate creator. And here's the thing, here's the good news and the bad news. Whether you're consciously creating your life or not, you're actually creating your life. So we can either do it from an unconscious state and just let the programs run, or we could be intentional about it.
I like being intentional. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to turn the platform over to our morning reader, professional extraordinaire, mindset trainer, Miss Connie Rose, again, all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. Connie, the platform is yours, and you'll pinpoint where we're starting this morning for those who are keeping up, and yes, we'll read into that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parker, and happy Father's Day to you and to all the dads on the platform this morning. So happy Father's Day. So we are on page 62 on wealth file number 2. And if you missed last week, we do have the recording up, and it's listed in the Facebook pages. So all of those are there. We talked last week a little bit about wealth principle. The wealth file number 1 was basically, I talk about, are you a 2 or are you a 4? Are you someone whose life is happening to you, or are you somebody whose life is happening elevated, right, for you? And that wealth file, rich, wealthy people believe I create my life. They're a 4. They're like, life is for them. Whereas poor people believe life happens to me. There's that victim mentality. So I don't know if anybody was able to do the homework about, catching yourself blaming, justifying, or complaining. And every time you do that, like, stop it, and let's elevate those thoughts. And then also the daily debrief about at the end of the day, look at, what went well and what didn't go as well as we planned, and what can we do about that, to keep us accountable. So we're starting on page 62, and it's wealth file number 2 with this is such a great section. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. Big difference. Poor people play the money game on defense rather than offense. Let me ask you this. If you were to play any sport of any game strictly on defense, what are the chances of your winning that game? Most people would agree, slim and none. Yeah, that's exactly how most people play the money game. Their primary concern is survival and security instead of creating wealth and abundance. Now, that's our default state. That's how our brains are hardwired, is for survival. And we know God has created us much bigger than that. So what is your objective and what are your true intentions? The goal of truly rich people is to have massive wealth and abundance, not just some money, but lots of money. So what is the big goal of poor people? Now pay attention. To have enough to pay the bills, and on time would be a miracle. Again, let me remind you about the power of intention. And I also say attention. When your intention is to have enough to pay the bills, that's exactly how much you're going to get, just enough to pay the bills and not a dime more. And we've all had those experiences, right? So middle class people just go a little step further. Too bad it's not just a tiny step. Their big goal in life also happens to be their favorite word in the whole wide world. Are you ready? They just want to be comfortable. I hate to break the news to you, but there's a huge difference in being comfortable and being rich. I have to admit, I didn't always know that. But one of the reasons I believe I have the right to even write this book is that I've had the experience of being on all 3 sides of the proverbial fence. I've been extremely broke in having to borrow $1 for gas for my car. But let me qualify that. First, it wasn't even my car. Second, the dollar came in the form of 4 quarters. Do you know how embarrassing it is for an adult to pay for gas with 4 quarters? The kid at the pump looked at me as if I was some kind of vending machine robber and just shook his head and laughed. I don't know if you can relate, but it was definitely one of the financial low points, and unfortunately, just one of them. Then he says, when I got my act together, I graduated to a level of being comfortable. Comfortable is nice. At least you could go to decent restaurants for a change. But pretty much all I could do is order chicken. Now, there's really nothing wrong with chicken if that's what you really want, but often it's not. In fact, people who are only financially comfortable usually decide on what to eat by looking at the right side of the menu, which is the price side. What would it look like for dinner tonight, dear? I'll have the $7.95 dish. Now we know that would be a bargain these days. Let's see what it is. Surprise, surprise, it's the chicken for the 19th time this week. When you're comfortable, you don't dare allow yourself to look at the bottom of the menu, for if you did, you might come across the most forbidden words in the middle class dictionary: market, price. And if you were curious, you'd never really ask what the price actually is. First, because you can't afford it. Second, it's downright embarrassing when the waiter doesn't believe you when he tells you the dish is $49 with side dishes extra. And you say, for some reason, I have a real craving for chicken tonight. I have to say that for me personally, one of the best things about being rich is not having to look at the prices on the menu anymore. I eat exactly what I want to eat, regardless of the price. I assure you, I didn't do that when I was broke or comfortable. It boils down to this. If your goal is to be comfortable, chances are you'll never get rich. But if the goal is to be rich, chances are you're going to end up mighty comfortable. Let me say that again. If your goal is to be comfortable, that is that's the double-edged sword. We want to be my driving factor is I want to feel free. And there's a level of comfort to that. And, you'll never get really rich by staying just comfortable. But if your goal is to be rich, chances are you're going to end up mighty comfortable. One of the principles we teach in our programs is if you shoot for the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. Poor people don't even shoot for the ceiling in their house, and then they wonder why they're not successful. We just found out. You get what you truly intend to get. If you want to get rich, your goal has to be rich. Not enough to just pay the bills, not enough just to be comfortable. Rich means rich. So here's the declaration for this chapter. Place your hand on your heart. We talked about the brain-heart coherence. So we're drawing attention to the heart. Let's take a deep breath. Slow down our brain. My goal is to become a millionaire and more. And we have our back office that can tell us what that date is. So my goal is to become a millionaire and more. Touch our head. I have a millionaire mind. So here's the homework. Here's part. We're going to do 2 wealth files this week. So the first part of the homework is to write down, and if you haven't done this already, please do. This is important homework. Write down 2 financial objectives that demonstrate your intention to create abundance, not mediocrity or poverty. Write play to win goals, not just not lose. You want to play to win. And so you want to write down 2 things. What do you intend your goal to be for your annual income? And we have this great, the way our comp plan is laid out, we have a great chart, so we can even look at that, right? I keep it right by my computer, so I'm like looking at it every day because my mind is where my next step is. The second one is your net worth. So make these goals, we talked about before in the past, SMART goals, make them achievable with a realistic time frame. And yet at the same time, we want to remember to shoot for the stars. Then the second recommendation for this millionaire mind action is go to an upscale restaurant and order a meal at the market price. So that's usually like the different high-end cuts of steak, seafood for sure, without asking how much it costs. He says the funds are tight, sharing is acceptable. So if you're not writing things down, like you are missing the boat. Gerald always says, bring a pen to all of our events, right? To whatever you're at, because you're going to hear something new. And when you write things down, you're 80% more likely that actually things manifest it. So you want to write down they're asking 2 things, annual income and your net worth. And I'm going to pause here and just insert a little thing that I really will make a difference. So as you write, let's just talk about your annual income, for example. You want to see it in 2 different ways. You want to see it from an associated state, which means looking through your own eyes. And you also want to see it like you're watching yourself in a movie. That's called a dissociated state. You don't just want to see it, you also want to feel it. Remember last week we talked about the brain-heart coherence? So you want to feel that feeling of actually having it happen. It's already happened. So you want to, activate that heart, touch your heart area, breathe slow, feel the feelings of it. Really, it's appreciation and compassion. Feel those feelings and then say it. This is a thing I learned this week in my training. When you nod your head yes while you're saying it and smile, it adds a whole different level and engages the physical body. It helps sink in to the unconscious mind even more. So you smile, shake your head yes, feel it in your heart. And I'm telling you, when you're smiling and nodding your head, you can't help but to feel better. It raises your frequency. I'm telling you, everything is brain patterns and frequency, and we have the technology to do this. So it helps to, like I said, rewire the brain and alter the unconscious mind. Now, the most powerful times, again, who remembers, it's first thing in the morning and as you're falling asleep. So I myself make a practice in the morning. I do not get out of bed until I have 5 goals that I'm currently working on. One of them is money. And so all 5 goals, I see it, I feel it, I say it, and then I don't get out of bed until all those things are done. And so when I step out of my bed onto my floor, I am ready to go. And again, at night, as I'm falling asleep, I do the same exact thing. So really, here's the hot tip. Don't get out of bed until you're feeling those feelings and saying it and smiling and shaking your head. So this information is great. And unless and until you make it a daily part of your life and have it be practical, it's not going to make a difference. So it's kind of like the booby prize. Nobody wants the booby prize. So take some action, right? Okay. So now we're on wealth file number 3. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. Ask most people if they want to be rich, and they'd look at you as if you were crazy. Of course I want to be rich, they'd say. The truth is, however, that most people don't really want to be rich. Why? Because they have a lot of negative wealth files in their subconscious mind that tell them there is something wrong with being rich. At our Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar, one of the questions we ask people is, what are some of the possible negatives about being rich or trying to get rich? And I have to admit, like as I was reading these earlier this week, like I remember having those thoughts. And I'm so grateful we have experts that help us with these things, because especially the one about taxes, like that used to really hook me. It doesn't anymore, especially now that we have trust your assets, trust my assets. Okay, here's what people have to say. See if you can relate to any of these. What if I make it and lose it? Then I'll really be a failure. I'll never know if people like me for myself or for my money. I'll be at the highest tax bracket and have to give half my money to the government, not us. It's too much work. I could lose my health trying. My family and friends will say, who do you think you are? And criticize me. And remember, our environment is so critical. Surround yourself with people with those higher thoughts. Everyone's going to want a handout. I could be robbed. My kids could be kidnapped. It's too much responsibility. I'll have to manage all that money. And I'll have to really understand investments. I'll have to worry about tax strategies and asset protection and have to hire expensive accountants and lawyers. Yuck, what a hassle. And I will tell you, before I found MWR Financial, I had some of those thoughts because I knew I wasn't an expert in those areas. And like, what a blessing it is to just get rid of those thoughts. That's an easy way to get rid of those thoughts, is becoming our membership and activating our membership. You don't have to know everything. Just surround yourself with I'm telling you, environment, our brain patterns, our frequency, who we're with makes all the difference. So as I mentioned earlier, each of us has a wealth file inside the cabinet called our mind. This file contains our personal beliefs. It may include why being rich would be wonderful. However, for many people, this file also includes information as to why being rich might not be so wonderful. This means they have mixed internal messages about wealth. One part of them gleefully says having more money will make life a lot more fun. But then another part screams, yeah, but I'm going to have to work like a dog. What fun is that? One part says, I'll be able to travel the world. The other part chirps in, yeah, and everybody in the world will want a handout. These mixed messages may seem innocent enough, but in reality, they are one of the major reasons most people really never become rich. Excuse me. You can look at it like this. The universe, which is another way of saying higher power, I say God, is akin to a mail order department. It is constantly delivering people, events, and things to you. And boy, is that correct. And like Gerald and I were talking at the beginning of the hour, you could either be consciously, creating this, or it's happening anyway. So you might as well be in charge of the thoughts. You order what you get by sending energetic messages to the universe based on your predominant beliefs. Let me say that again. You order what you get by sending energetic messages out to the universe based on your predominant beliefs. Again, based on the law of attraction. So that's that part of our brain, the reticular activating system that has us notice what's things that are important to us. The law of attraction, the universe will do its best to say yes and support you. But if you have mixed messages in your file, the universe can't understand what you want. One minute, the universe hears what you want to be rich, so it begins sending you opportunities for wealth. But then it hears you say, rich people are greedy. So the universe begins to support you in not having much money. But then you think having a lot of money makes life so much more enjoyable. So the poor universe, dazed and confused, restarts, sending you opportunities for more money. The next day, you're in an uninspired mood, so you think money's not that important. The frustrated universe finally screams, make up your freaking mind. I'll get you what you want. Just tell me what it is. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. That's why I was just saying, like, write it down. Get crystal clear what you want. Because God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is listening and responding. So get clear about what you want. Rich people are totally clear that they want wealth. They are unwavering in their desire. They are fully committed to creating wealth. As long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, they will do whatever it takes to have wealth. Rich people do not send mixed messages to the universe. Poor people do. By the way, when you read the last paragraph, if a little voice inside your head has something to the effect of rich people don't care if it's legal, moral, or ethical, you are definitely doing the right thing in reading this book. You'll soon find out what a detrimental way of thinking that is. So again, the number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. This is an easy thing to do. Really, please take some time and write it down. Poor people have plenty of good reasons as to why getting and actually being rich might be a problem. Consequently, they are not 100% certain they really want to be rich. Their message to the universe is confusing. Their message to others is confusing. Why does all of this confusion happen? Because their message to themselves is confusing. And we've talked about before, our emotions are imprinted on our vocal cords. It's not just the universe that's hearing this, it's people around you that are hearing this. So when you share with them about the opportunity of MWR Financial, they can hear it. If you're not clear and confident, it communicates in the sound of your voice. It's actually imprinted on your vocal cords. Earlier, we talked about the power of intention. I know it might be hard to believe, but you always get what you want, what you unconsciously want, not what you say you want. You might emphatically deny this and respond, that's crazy. Why would I want to struggle? And my question for you is exactly the same. I don't know. Why would you want to struggle? So first, you subconsciously really don't want wealth, or second, you're not willing to do what it takes to create it. Let's explore this a little further. There are actually 3 levels of so-called wanting. The first level is, I want to be rich. That's another way of saying, I'll take it if it falls in my lap. Wanting alone is useless. Have you noticed that wanting doesn't necessarily lead to having? Also notice that wanting without having leads to more wanting. Wanting becomes habitual and leads only to itself, creating a perfect circle that goes exactly nowhere. Wealth does not come by merely wanting it. How do you know this is true? Well, with a simple reality check, billions of people want to be rich, relatively few people are. The second level of wanting is I choose to be rich. This entails deciding to become rich. Choosing is a much stronger energy and goes hand in hand with being responsible for creating your reality. The word decision comes from the Latin word decidere, which means to kill off any other alternatives. Choosing is better, and it's not the best. The third level of wanting is I commit to being rich. The definition of the word commit is to devote oneself unreservedly. That's, like Dr. Parker says, get excited or stay broke forever. He's committed, and you can hear it in his voice. This means holding absolutely nothing back, giving 100% of everything you've got to achieving wealth. It means being willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. This is the warrior's way. No excuses, no ifs, no buts, no maybes, and failure is not an option. The warrior's way is simple. I will be rich or I will die trying. I commit to being rich. Try saying that to yourself. What does that bring up for you? For some, it feels empowering. For others, it may feel daunting. And so again, I would like shake your head, smile. I commit to being rich. It feels different. Most people would never truly commit to being rich. If you ask them, would you bet your life that in the next 10 years you will be wealthy? Most people would say, no way. Well, the difference between rich people and poor people is precisely because people won't truly commit to being rich, that they are not rich and most likely will never be. Some might say, Harv, what are you talking about? I work my butt off. I'm trying real hard. Of course, I'm committed to being rich. And I would reply that your trying means little. The definition of commitment is to devote oneself unreservedly. The key word is unreservedly, which means you're putting everything you've got into it. Most people I know who are not financially successful have limits on how much they're willing to do, how much they're willing to risk, and how much they are willing to sacrifice. Although they think they are willing to do whatever it takes, upon deeper questioning, I always find they have plenty of conditions around what they are willing to do and not do to succeed. I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but getting rich is not a stroll in the park, and anyone who tells you is either knows a heck of a lot more than me or is a little out of integrity. In my experience, Getting rich takes focus, courage, knowledge, expertise, and we have the experts, 100% of your effort, a never give up attitude, and of course, a rich mindset. You also have to believe in your heart of hearts that you can create wealth and that you absolutely deserve it. And what that means is this: if you are not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, chances are you won't. I'm going to say that again. If you are not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, chances are you won't. Are you willing to work 16 hours a day? Oh, let me just tell you, the gentlemen that lead this team, Dr. Parker, Mr. Fernando Ramirez, Coach Benjamin McCrae, Miss Anna, Miss Anna Rodriguez, Wendell Phillips, Elisa Cabello, like all of these amazing leaders that we have that show up all of the time, they're here. Like when you get on the platform, you can count on it that they're there. So what are you willing to do? Are you willing? Rich people are. Are you willing to work 7 days a week and give up most of your weekend? Rich people are. Are you willing to sacrifice seeing your family, your friends, and give up your recreation and hobbies? Rich people are. Are you willing to risk all your time, energy, and startup capital with no guarantee of return? Rich people are. For a time, hopefully a short time, and often a long time, rich people are ready and willing to do all of the above. Are you? Maybe you'll be lucky and you won't have to work that long or hard to sacrifice anything. You can wish for that, but I sure wouldn't count on it. Again, rich people are committed enough to do whatever it takes, period. It's interesting to note, however, that once you do commit, the universe will bend over backward to support you. One of my favorite passages is by explorer W.H. Murray, who wrote the following during one of his first Himalayan expeditions. Until one is committed, there is a hesitancy, the chance to draw back, almost ineffectiveness concerning all acts of initiative and creation. There is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor of all manner of unforeseen incidences, meetings, and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come in his way. And I'm telling you, we talked about we are magnets. When you commit, you fully commit, and you are clear about what you're going to have achieved, feeling it, seeing it, saying it, all of those things, reprogramming your mind. I am telling you, the universe, God, does realign itself. We have the parts of our brain, the reticular activating system, that makes it so. It is like we are hardwired for this. So why are we not doing it, right? So let's do this. In other words, the universe will assist you, guide you, support you, even create miracles for you. And first, you have to commit. So here we go. So we're going to, again, let's take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. Get into that heart-brain coherence. And I want you to say with me, I commit to being rich. Smile, nod your head. I commit to being rich. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. So here's the next part of homework. Write a short paragraph why creating wealth is important to you. Be specific. And you also want to generate those feelings. And then it says, meet with a friend or family member who's willing to support you. Tell that person you want to evoke the power of commitment for the purpose of creating greater success. Put your hand on your heart, look at the person in the eye, and repeat the following statement. I, Connie Rose, do hereby commit to becoming a millionaire or more by, and I'm saying 2030. Like I will be a balance sheet millionaire. Over my assets will be worth more than $1 million by January 1st, 2030, or sooner is what I always say. Then tell your partner to say back to you, I believe in you. And then you say, thank you. You want to receive it. So you want to check in to how you feel before your commitment and how you feel after it. If you feel a sense of freedom, you're on your way. If you feel a tinge of fear, you're on your way. If you didn't bother doing it, you're still not being willing to do whatever it takes mode, or I don't need to do any of this weird stuff mode. Either way, let me remind you your way has gotten you exactly where you are now. So, Dr. Gerald Parker, I would love to hear, like, what are you hearing this week from these wealth files?
Connie, once again, man, powerful. Thank you so much for the reading. I just want to kind of recap and the points that you make in the book. He says, rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. And there's a difference in our approach. And he goes on to say here, as it relates to wealth principles, right? If your goal is to be comfortable, chances are you'll never get rich. But if your goal is to be rich, chances are you'll end up comfortably. And then he says, rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. There is a difference. And it all starts with our mindset. I'm one here. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. So you've got to be clear. You've got to be precise. Your mind has got to be made up. That's why it's so important, as you talk about, to write the goals down, to make it plain, to put them in front of you, read it in the morning, read it at night. You know, and the affirmations you talked about before getting out of bed, do that before your feet hit the floor and carry that with you through the day. It is a powerful concept. And these are very simple things that can be done. But again, we've got to shift our mind and begin to really understand, if you want to get where it is you're going, then now is the time to start activating these principles. Because now, if you don't feel comfortable with that or don't want to do that, as you just said, I mean, people say, well, this is weird, I don't want to do it. Your thinking and your actions have got you exactly where you are right now. And I think I heard a quote says, you know, where you are today is no more than a mirror reflection of how your time has been spent. So if you look at where you are, evaluate your entire life right now, and you're not totally satisfied with where you are, then let's look at what we've been doing. So maybe it's time to make some change. But I think for most people is that we're not comfortable with change. Nobody wants change, right? But you've got to be willing to do what others don't do in order to have what others can't have. I mean, it's just that simple. This is powerful. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Well, and the being comfortable, that's literally like, so if you can like just take that and realize the comfort is a habit, it is a brain pattern. Wow. And what used to be uncomfortable can become comfortable. And when you realize it's just a brain pattern, I know how to do this now. And so you just are creating new brain patterns, and then it will be comfortable. That's all it is a brain pattern and a frequency, I'm telling you.
So we possess the ability to shift this.
Absolutely.
Wow. Insane. Listen, Miss Bartley's up first, and then we've got Fernando Ramirez. Miss Bartley, welcome to the platform. Let me get you guys unmuted here. Hang on one second. Always enjoying hearing from this young lady. And she's at work again, probably this morning, but she continues to be here Saturday after Saturday. Miss Bartley, the platform is yours.
Great morning, Dr. Parker, Connie Rose, Benjamin McCray, and all leaders in their prospective places. I am enjoying this reading today because it was just like an inadvertent inheritance, right? That I was thinking the way I was thinking. You know, I wasn't born with those thoughts. It was inherently placed in me. So what I created along the way was the results of what I was given, that I didn't have no choice in order to receive, right? So I'm glad that I am here to be able to combat that and change that today. I could see it, I could feel it, I could say it, I could do it with appreciation and compassion. So I always remember you say, Gerald, Dr. Gerald, that to get excited or stay broke, and I inherited this new mantra: get uncomfortable or stay broke.
That's right. That's right.
I don't want to struggle through life. I want to skate through life. And the thing you was talking about, the principle you was talking about, or the concept you was talking about, letting the universe line up. Yeah, the universe is going to be confused on what to give you because you stopping and you going. what should they implore? What should they give you? Because you don't even know. 1 minute, okay, I'm all for it. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna do this, but your actions is showing something else. So the universe is confused. So God, I thank you for this platform. I thank you for oh yeah, and I wanted to say this too as well. I will be debt free in April of 2031, and I will be a millionaire in December of 43 or before. I state this in front of Dr. Parker, Connie Rose, and all the leaders here on this line. Do y'all believe in me?
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I love y'all.
That's so great. I love what you were saying about, like, it is so true. Like, we inherited these thoughts, beliefs, right? And if you think about it, like right now, and I love my parents, and I had great training growing up. And here's the question: would you hire your parents or grandparents as your wealth coach?
Not for these times, no.
Right. And so the good news is, we didn't hire them, they programmed all of our experiences, birth to 7. So whoever you were hanging out with,
Right,
you inherited those conversations, those beliefs. Yep. So if you wouldn't hire them to be your wealth coach, the great news is we have all the things that you do now to change those patterns, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Beautiful today.
No, thank you, Ms. Bartley. Connie, this platform is having a profound impact on the lives of so many people. And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it yourself, Ms. Bartley, the mindset. I mean, Connie, I remember as far back as when we started this platform and Ms. Bartley began to join us. I've seen that shift in her, in her mindset, her actions, her conversations, everything she's doing. She made the declaration this morning. We support you, we believe in you, and we're rooting for you. You get enough of that happening, the universe lines itself up, and all those pieces that you need for that thing to be accomplished will appear. I'm convinced it works. We just got to believe it works. We've got to apply the principle, activate it, and watch what happens. Your life will never be the same again. So this is awesome, Connie. Man, I'm loving it. Fernando Ramirez, Los Angeles.
I receive it. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Boy, Miss Bartley's on fire.
Yes.
I am on fire, man. She really got me like fired up. I was already fired up, but her enthusiasm, it was just amazing what I've heard. Congratulations, and definitely I believe in you.
Wow.
All right, Connie, thank you so much for this morning. Good morning, everyone. I really appreciate the reading and you taking the time and doing this for us every Saturday. It's a blessing to be able to have your expertise. Going back to this book, The Wealth Principle, the number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
A year ago, that's where I was standing. I was in between starting a franchise that we were about to put money into, or stay in the industry. And I said, I looked at our team, and then some of our teammates were asking, what are you up to next? And we got together, and I made the decision to say, I gotta decide, because when I decide, I compromise. It's my word. So I said, we gotta definitely stay together, and we're gonna continue on with the journey of network marketing. And it moves me to the next topic here, which is if you're not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, chances are you won't. So I said, I got to break away from everything else that I'm thinking about right now, okay? And I got to start re-engaging back in exercising my brain and pouring my entire commitment to what I'm going to do. So what vehicle are you using to create wealth? So I said, I looked at MWR, and I said, this is definitely the vehicle. It looks like it starts to ride pretty smooth at 1,000 a day and above. I said, I'm sticking to this. And then collaborating with my decision came Dr. GW, who has been a tremendous support and has made the journey amazing. And our team feels comfortable with the decision that we made. And we're thriving. We just can't wait and we're committed to make things happen, starting already from the 15th, or what our CEO decided to do for us. Step in, step up, and get very uncomfortable, just like Ms. Bartley says, uncomfortable, right? And I believe in that, what she just said, which is be uncomfortable or stay broke forever. So if you're not uncomfortable from this point forward until you achieve your goals and dreams, you know, this vehicle can be fast to get to where you want to go. But if you don't have the commitment and the drive to make it, you know, to go high speed at your speed, obviously, it won't work for you. So that's what we decided to do. And that's why we're 24/7. And we got Dr. GW running right next. Sometimes he gets ahead of me. I say, I got to catch up. You know, we got to keep going. So we got a contest right now between him and I, and we're going to rock and roll with it. Thank you so much, Connie. Thank you so much, teammates. I love you all. And let's kick butt.
Wonderful, Fernando. And we love you too. Connie, again, this thing just inspires people. I mean, it has a way, this platform, of bringing those things out of you, those things that you really want in your life. But this helps us understand what it takes to get there. And that's the beauty of it. Fernando Ramirez, listen, Connie, he's my brother from another mother. I've never worked with anybody so committed to winning, not just for himself, but for the sake of others. And that's the beauty of the relationship. So, we got something here, guys. This just solidifies it. These Saturday morning readers makes it all make sense for me. I don't know what it does for you, but all the work I put in, showing up, doing things when I don't want to do it, when I don't feel like doing it, and I get to this Saturday morning, and now I understand I am doing what I'm doing, and I know for sure that it all pays off.
And the result, look at your results. I mean, they speak for themselves.
Say no more. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We've got who's traveling this morning, our good friend, Coach Benjamin McCray, who's on the road. And I know Ben, I mean, as he's traveling, it's kind of, I knew he couldn't miss it. I knew he couldn't miss it.
So, and it's thanks to Coach Benjamin. He's the one who recommended this book. So
Absolutely.
Thank you. What's going on, family? How's everyone?
Great.
Doing great, sir.
Man, I got to give you what. So amazing read. Great job, Connie. I mean, this book is absolutely life-changing, and it's all about making a decision. We're here. We're in the right place at the right time. Let me just give you guys the view. I had to get down to the ocean. Oh, y'all not letting me show the ocean. Oh, man. I'm a Cancer. My birthday's July 12th is coming up. I call that my new year. And I've made a goal for many, many years. By the time I turn 55, I will be financially free. I'll have a net worth of over $5 million and have a passive residual income coming in of over $1 million a month. And I got to change those numbers because so many opportunities have come into my life since 20 years ago. But I'm here at the ocean to do a quick reset so that I could come back into the marketplace and kick butt and help as many people as possible get to the next level. I'm so fired up about the platform that we have in place. We have everything in place. We just got to go to work. And they said, the reality is this, and I'm gonna wrap this up. They say some people's some days is other people's every day. Whereas right now I'm sitting here at the beach and folks are just here for the weekend, got to go back to work and build somebody else's dreams. Whereas some people live on the beach and all they have to do is walk down and put their toe in the ocean at will. And that's what we're working hard to get to. And I'm fired up and excited about doing that. So, man, I love you guys. Let's get after it.
Good deal, sir. Enjoy that time on the beach. Stick your toes in the water for me, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And die for me, okay? All the way.
None of that. None of that.
No diving. Come on, man.
Go ahead, Connie.
Well, so the other thing I wanted to say is, we were talking about how, the results are what they are. And so one of the things I've been like in my time that I spend daily time, at least in the morning and at least at night. And I often do it during the day. And so it's been interesting because I've so we're magnets, right? And so I say I attract different things into my life, and some awesome things are happening. And so I've attracted this new friend into my life who was a $50,000 a month earner in another company. And so like, we're having conversations about what were the brain patterns that created that, because I've never done that. And you want to be around other people who have done what you want to do. And because I was like working on that, I know that's why he's in my world right now, because I was very clear about what I wanted. And again, like the universe aligns, God brings in the people, the opportunities, everything that we need is there. We just need to get the confusion out of the way, declare what we want, say it, feel it, and I'm telling you, shaking your head yes and smiling, you can't help but to get excited about it. Like, when you say get excited or stay broke forever, you don't say that with a down face. You don't say that shaking your head. No, like you are like you can feel it and see it. And so sometimes our inner world has our outer world, our body, respond a certain way. And here's the cool thing, it works the opposite way too. So when you're feeling down, smile, shake your head yes, and it will shift how you're feeling. So like we have all of these amazing tools, and right now, and you can speak more to this, Gerald, I know last night a new team member came on my team. And so I was able to take advantage of that extra. Instead of $50, I earn $100, right? And it's one of my 6 that'll be there for the cruise. So we had a great comp plan before, and now it's even better. And so if that does not inspire you, I honestly don't know what else this leadership team and MWR Financial, that leadership team with Brian House, I don't know what else they can do. It's you, we get to step into that because we really have everything we need.
And you're absolutely right. We do have everything we need, and they just kind of sweeten the pot and incentivize it a little bit more for something for us to kind of go after. Think about a free cruise, what that would cost you out of pocket. We have the ability to put 6 people into your program between now and the end of the month and qualify for that cruise. Help one of those persons become a 2-star, and now you've got 2 tickets for the cruise, so you can take someone with you. And that's the beauty of it. Not only that, Connie, the incentive, which you've already experienced and I will experience today, the additional $50 being paid on the person that you sponsor. So normally we'd make $50 to bring someone into this business, but now you have an opportunity to earn $100. So they've doubled the money, and we're going to double the fund. And that is exactly what they call the promotion. Guys, this is our chance to win. If there ever was one, I've always said it. This is it right here. We've got the platform in place. We've got the leadership in place. And we've created the right environment, Connie. I think that if a person joins us, they see growth in their life. You want to say, you say the universe has the ability to kind of begin to bring these things to you once the environment is set. We created the environment. And all you got to do now is just show up here, and the rest happens because you're surrounded by like-minded people that see what you see. They believe in what you believe in. They support you. Your dreams are not far-fetched here. We believe it. We know that it's possible. And that's the beauty of what we've created here. It's just a blessing, truly a blessing.
Well, and I loved what, on Wednesday night, if you haven't seen the Wednesday night special announcement from corporate, that's on the YouTube channel, it's on the Facebook page, listen to it. Because as great as the announcements were in the beginning, hearing from our leaders, like we heard from, Dr. Parker, we heard, and I didn't follow everything that Fernando said because I'm not yet learning Spanish. But I can tell, I know for sure what was imprinted on his vocal cords, because while I didn't understand the words, I totally understood the excitement. That is a living demonstration of that, And then we heard these great things like, Christy Howard talks about having 5 pennies, put them in your one pocket. And then as you share, put them into your other pocket. Everybody can do this. This is not difficult. And what Brian Bean was sharing, what I loved what he shared was, you don't have to do this on your own merit. And we have, I personally believe, and I know I may be a little bit biased because I love Dr. Parker so much, we have the best success story right here as the leader of Kingdom Builders. And you don't have to share your story. It's good to have a story for sure. And when I share Dr. Parker's story, people like we edify, like we need to do is like to edify the leaders that we surround ourselves with. They want to meet them, they want to know them. And so if you could just, like I said, grab the 5 pennies, right? So that you're making 5 connections a day, and then say how great this platform is, how great our leaders are. Like, it's that simple. And I also wrote this down, what Christy Howard said, because I think this is so brilliant, because people like will lean in and they want this. Like, back in the day, we had the thing called phrases that pay. Remember that, Gerald?
Yeah, I
And
do.
and I think this needs to be like, I'm going to edit our script book. It says, I show people how to increase, create, multiply, and protect their money through wealth strategies that we were never taught before. You know somebody who wants to do at least one of those, right? And while you're saying, so here's the like NLP stuff. When you're saying that, like when you're talking to people, you shake your head yes during that whole time, because we have here's the nerd, we have mirror neurons on our brain. And so when I like, look at right now, I'm shaking my head yes. And what's Gerald doing? Gerald's shaking his head yes. I don't even know if you realized you were doing it. Let's put these awesome technologies, these things that we know about our brain, let's put them to work. So like, as you're saying that, I show people how to increase, create, multiply, protect their wealth, their money through wealth strategies that we were never taught before. You know someone who wants to do at least one of those, right? And you're shaking your head and you're saying right, and unconsciously they're going to be shaking their head and saying right.
That's amazing.
Come on now.
It is amazing, Connie. It absolutely is. Guys, all we've got to do is apply these principles and you'll see them work in your life. It's powerful. Hey, before we jump off the platform, is there anybody else, any other comments, anyone else want to share what they got out of the reading this morning? We've done a heck of a job, Connie Rose. Thank you so much, man. Guys, well, listen, we're back on at 11 o'clock. Actually, if you're in place, stay on the platform. We're not going to shut it down. At 11 a.m. is normally our Saturday morning overview. Our host this morning is going to be none other than the gentleman you heard from earlier, Mr. Fernando Ramirez, Regional Director with MWR Financial out of Southern California, who's going to be on the platform today. So again, line up your guests. That would be the ideal place to bring your prospects. It is going to be exciting at 11 a.m. And then we're back on tonight for training, 8 p.m. Same platform, same access, zoom.mwrkingdombuilders.com. That training platform headed by none other than Mr. Wendell Phil. And guys, we got something for you tonight. You're going to hear from some leaders. You're going to hear their stories as to how they were able to achieve the success that they've achieved so far, what their work ethics, what they were able to do, what sort of commitment they've made. So you're going to get some nuggets tonight. You're going to hear from Ana Rodriguez, myself, Mr. Fernando Ramirez. Guys, come to that platform with pen and paper in hand and get these nuggets, particularly hearing from Ana Rodriguez. You want to hear that story. Man, I mean, think about regional director with MWR Financial, Connie Rose, in a matter of months.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what she's been able to accomplish in the team that she's building. But again, I mean, it all centers around mindset. If you believe it, you can. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Again, so that's where we are. So before we talk, go ahead, and then we'll bring up Ms. Wooten.
Well, there's I think Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right.
It's almost certain you won't. Yeah, exactly.
Tonight is so special. I mean, really, please get on tonight's training. Like I said before, like we are really in the storytelling business, right? People love stories, and to be able to share the stories of the people that we get to work with and interact on a daily basis on our platform, people are attracted to that. And again, like when you're sharing, like, yes, this is so great. So get on tonight, and Wendell's going to be hosting it. And I mean, he's just amazing. We're so lucky to have him.
No question about it. We are truly lucky to have him. So Miss Cassandra Wooten, man.
I believe I can fly. I can believe I can touch the sky. Man, I'm telling you, this reading, Connie, oh man, you're an amazing woman. I'll tell you. Thank God for all the leaders. And I'm not trying to stay broke. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I believe that I can be a millionaire in 2030. So that's my focus. That's my goal. We are our amazing team. This company, I mean, it's taking me out of my comfort zone. I'm going out even more, meeting people. No matter where I'm at, I'm talking about it. I'm saying about it. I'm asking people, what do you want to do in life? Where are you at? So it's amazing, and I'm just gonna keep going. That's it. I believe that.
Well,
Hey,
I believe
we
in you.
oh man, and kind of Rose, you just heard from a young lady, seriously, a year and a half ago, wouldn't even unmute herself, wouldn't speak in front of people, wouldn't approach a total stranger. I mean, seriously, you talk about coming out of your shell, getting out of your comfort zone. This is living proof, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen it firsthand, up close and personal. I believe.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I believe I can touch the sky.
Sing it, Dr. Parker.
I love it, guys. I love it. Hey, guys, once again, we got 30 minutes before 11 a.m. Line up your people. Get them in front of Fernando Ramirez this morning. Absolutely. If you want somebody to be closed out today, you get them in front of one of the best closers in the business. This guy presents like nobody else does. And we're going to allow Mr. Benjamin McCray to enjoy his time on the beach. He's getting re-energized, and he'll be back with us again on the Monday platform, ladies and gentlemen. So again, 11 a.m. right around the corner, and Connie Rose, you and I'll be doing something on the other platform. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. Guys, again, sit tight if you want to. You got 30 minutes. We're not going anywhere. The program and platform will remain open. Chime back in at 11 a.m. hearing from none other than our great regional director, Los Angeles, California, Mr. Fernando Ramirez. God bless all of you. Make it a great day. Make up your mind. Determine the life you want. Put it in writing and go for it. Seriously. And again, I'll close with this. Get excited or stay broke forever. Connie, we got choices. That's the beauty of it.
Yes, we do. Lots.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you.